African countries deem South Africa to be a very xenophobic country. They deem South Africa as a very hateful country towards other African countries. I say this because I want to know, are we really xenophobic, or are we just concerned citizens? This comes after a discovery, huge discovery, that the Home Affairs and all the parties that were involved in this discovery that we are about to talk about on this channel. And it made me to ask those questions. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. Libito la KK. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning Sabi, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And also don't forget to like this video actually before you actually go into it. And also make sure that you share your own views, as we always do, because it is my best part to go down and check out those actual comments that you make on each and every video that I post. On this video, we're going to be talking about a huge discovery that happened in Mpumalanga that involves illegal immigrants that we're having a problem with in this country. We're not gonna lie, we've got a problem of illegal immigrants in South Africa, and that is the reason why we got our tags as a xenophobic country. So if you'd like to hear more about this discovery, and if you don't know anything about this discovery, don't worry, I'm gonna quickly go through everything that we know so far on this video, but you need to just relax and let's get into it. Let's jump straight into it, and then I will give you my own opinions and views, and also we can decide if we are really xenophobic or we just concerned citizens regarding our own safety in this country. The South African Police Service in Mpumalanga, working together with the ProvJoint structure, including the Department of Home Affairs and other role players like police intelligence, have uncovered a suspected military training base in White River and apprehended 95 foreign nationals in connection with the discovery. Acting Provincial Commissioner of SAPS in Mpumalanga, Major General Dr. Zeph Mkhwanazi, convened the Provincial Joint Structure 2 days ago after receiving intelligence information about the suspected camp. This led to a joint operation being carried out today, Friday 26 July 2024, resulting in the raid and subsequent arrest. The place, which was initially designated as a training site, appears to have been converted into an illegal military training base rather. The 95 individuals taken into custody are all Libyan nationals and are currently being questioned by the relevant authorities. We take any threat to the security and stability of our province and country very seriously, said Major General Mkhwanazi. The operation demonstrates our commitment to acting swiftly and decisively against any activities that could undermine our national interests and ensure the safety of our citizens, because that is our primary mandate. The investigation is still ongoing, and further details will be provided as they become available. The SAPS would like to assure the public that there is no immediate threat to the community, to our community safety. I don't know about that. So guys, let's get this straight in very simple terms. We have a problem, we have a new problem as a country. There is a military base that is in Mpumalanga that is training Libyan illegal immigrants in South Africa. Let me take it broader in a very simple way. So apparently these people came into South Africa with a study visa, and this study visa that they carried, obviously it had they were supposed to be here for security training. like your normal basic security that we have. For that was the entire information that was actually provided to us as citizens, because we're not gonna get a lot of information as the investigation is ongoing, right? So they came in, study visa and all, and they are for security. Then all of a sudden they are actually military training candidates. So they've got their own bosses in this farm. They are getting trained. Are they getting trained to go back to Libya to actually fight, or they are getting trained to take over the country? At this point of time, we don't have that problem. And another thing that came by, or that was actually said on my investigation when I was doing this investigation online and stuff like that, is actually their community members that are around there. They say that they had problems with these people because at that point of time they did not know these people. They've got a problem with these people harassing them and also raping them. And also it was said that the police, with all the reports that the police were getting, that there's these people that are harassing the community members and these people that are raping and all of those things. And it was difficult for the police to crack these people because most of the times the community would say it is white people, light-skinned people. So it didn't give the police the information that they really needed, because obviously these people are not known in the community. Get this right. Also in this farm, there are people who are working, which is the South African nationals that are guarding this farm. So around the fences of this farm, there are securities that are from South Africa that are looking after this farm so that people are not able to penetrate through this farm to actually see what is really happening in this farm. I'm not gonna get you even scared about this whole thing, because the police in Mpumalanga also confirmed that there might be more of these military bases that are legally run in this country, in Mpumalanga or around the area, which they will have to browse through the area to see if they don't have any things like that are happening around the country. Guys, let me tell you that from Libya to South Africa, if you're flying from Libya to South Africa, you're going to be flying across 6,351 kilometers to South Africa. Are our borders so porous that the whole African continent would come to South Africa to do whatever they want? Because if we open our mouths as South African, then we are labeled as xenophobic. In order for us to show love and kindness, we shouldn't speak our mind. We shouldn't say this is wrong. We shouldn't say open border in South Africa is just a waste of time, because we might jeopardize our own security in this country. Are we that gullible as South Africans who are actually saying that we are xenophobic as South Africans? Because not only African countries are saying that South Africa is xenophobic. Our own weak South Africans are saying we are xenophobic. But I can tell you right now, you cannot go to any African country and open your own military base. You will never even wake up to tell the tale in other countries. South Africa is so lenient, because if it was a different country, let's say it was Libya, that South African illegally obtained these documents and they were illegally doing stuff in Libya, they were never going to see the sunrise. They were never going to lay their eyes to this beautiful country again. We cannot be bullied by African countries that will be calling us xenophobic when we raise issues like this one. There's a lot of other issues that are happening at this point of time. As you all know, that there was a drug bust that happened in Limpopo that is like billions of rands. And those nationals were illegally here from Mexico and other places. So we shouldn't raise those issues. We shouldn't say that these porous borders are going to bring us nothing but trouble. I think it's time for these weak South Africans that are having no backbone and telling us that they are patriots of South Africa, but they're not going to turn their backs to the other African people or African countries because we say so as the xenophobic people. We are not xenophobic. We are just not angry enough. We are just not angry enough because of our government. We are just not angry enough towards the ANC that have allowed all these shenanigans to happen throughout the 30 years. And my question is, this did not start yesterday. This did not start 2 weeks ago. This has been happening for the longest time. And obviously, the Minister of Correction, the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, the last minister that we had before these new ministers, obviously he did not see anything. We all know that he was going to go there and have some fun with the media personnels because that's what he does the best. But do you think these people have connections in these ministerial places? Do you think these people have got connections with the ANC? Because at this point of time, I don't understand how were they living their lives, training and even getting injured, but at the end of the day, no one is actually catching up to them. Like the people who are working around this area, they don't even have any questions because it looks like this was an intense training. This was the intense training. They've got all the equipment and all of those things. How did this come about? I just want to hear the owner of the farm, and we also need to know who's the owner of the farm. Is the owner of the farm a South African? Is this owner of the farm the one who allowed this whole thing to happen in South Africa? What about our security? We are dealing with our own shenanigans from South Africa. We are dealing with our own criminals in South Africa. And we cannot deal with the terrorists that are coming to terrorize our country. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to people who are advocating for Pan-Africanism, but we are the one who suffer. Where is the xenophobic when things like this are happening? I don't see people going all crazy on social media and every platform that they actually use to actually label us xenophobic. Isn't it xenophobic that a country that is 6,000 kilometers away from here or over 6,000 kilometers away from here to come into this country lying about their documents and doing illegal stuff in our country? Isn't it that xenophobic? Shouldn't we label that xenophobic? Actually, we should upgrade it. It's terrorism. It's putting us in danger. We are in danger. I think the US is not lying when they're giving us these tip-offs. The recent tip-off was that the ISIS, these organizations that are actually banned by the US because they suspect that they are working with the ISIS or they are ISIS. Are we having officials that are getting briberies from these people? Because if these officials are very protected, officials have got a huge budget in order for them to be protected. We've got nothing. There's nothing that will protect us. And we all know how Libya is. Imagine what would happen here in South Africa. Our own SANDF is somewhere deployed in Africa by the riches who are owning businesses there, because that is not to actually combat the crimes that are happening there with other countries fighting the other countries in Africa and all of those things. It's not about that. It's not about them trying to lower the wars in these countries. It's about them guarding their own interests, the rich people, the politicians. So it's sad. It's very sad. I want to hear from you on your side. Do you think we really are xenophobic, or we just see what is happening right in front of our eyes? What will happen to our own children? What will happen to the future of this country that we fought for? This country was fought for, and people died fighting for this country. And now the African continent is calling us xenophobic because we're saying this is not how it's done. You cannot go to Botswana and open your own military base illegally. You cannot go to Nigeria. You cannot go to any other African countries. You open your own military base, training military base. How come are we allowing such things? How come? How come are we not angry enough to actually say no, it stops here? We're taking all this. The land is so big in South Africa. It is highly impossible to actually erect a huge border. At this point of time, I feel like we need a president that sounds like Donald Trump, a president that will make things happen. Because we cannot live like this. We cannot live like this. The African countries are just wreaking havoc in our country. The ones who came here legally, it's sad for them. Because each and everyone that we see now as an immigrant who is in South Africa, they will be labeled as the ones who are actually destroying this country. Even though they are here legally, the ones who are here illegally, they are destroying that trust. Or they destroyed that trust already. They destroyed that trust. So I'm so excited that maybe we're gonna get more information about this one. And also I'm so excited that maybe they will try to take these things into consideration and listen to people that are living in around South Africa, because we have been singing about this thing all the time, even though we are labeled to be xenophobic. You know, I do not subscribe in hateful crimes. I do not subscribe in those things. But when things are not right, I'm very patriotic. I love my country. Doesn't matter how it is right now, but I still love my country. And I want my country to prosper. And I want to see my country safe. For me, for my children, for the future of this country. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Do you think that we should be concerned? Because I am concerned. I am really, really concerned. But anyway, please do make sure to like this video, and also make sure you comment with your own views. Make sure you return for more dose, because you're gonna have more. Have a fantastic one. Peace out.